Yeah, I don't know exactly what the Chief said, and I do want to say that I have confidence in the Chief. He's somebody who I think can lead the change that's required in our Defence Forces, but he's going to need a lot of help from others to do so. I don't think the Defence Forces can fix this problem on their own. That is very clear. Issues around bullying and harassment, some of it of sexual nature, have been documented on a number of occasions now in the past 20 years, so I think all of us were aware of it in that sense. What is particularly disturbing about this report is that it is more widespread than we'd feared, and it's not historic, it is ongoing. That's what the report shows, and I think we have to face up to that reality. I'm immensely proud of our Defence Forces. These are people who are loyal to the flag, they're loyal to our state, they stand by it, they bring peace to all parts of the world, and we should respect them, but also they need to respect each other, particularly women, particularly young people in the Defence Forces, and particularly people in the lower ranks who aren't getting the basic respect that they deserve.
Before the Barry, Karen, can you just say what will the scope of the inquiry be, and when will it likely happen, because people want to know?
So it will be a public inquiry. It'll be led by a judge or a retired judge, and the Taoiseach is very keen to engage with the women of honour, the men and women of honour, the representative groups like RACO and PD Fora, who represent serving soldiers and naval personnel and Air Corps people, and he's going to bring to Cabinet terms of reference as soon as possible. We would really obviously love to get it up and running before the summer recess. That would be the intention, but I can't guarantee that, because it's important that we act with both sensitivity and speed, and we don't want to act so quickly that we are insensitive or get the terms of reference wrong, and when you get the terms of reference wrong, you're locked into that and you could end up with an inquiry that goes on for too long. So it's important to get it right.
Just how much of that report, how much of it were you aware of as Minister of Defence? How much of that was in the report this week?
Yeah, so as Minister of Defence, I wouldn't have received any reports of, wouldn't have directly personally received, or at least to my recollection, any reports of that nature other than what was published already.
But you said that you knew, or not to an extent that you knew, and people knew this was going on. So does that give, suggest there's a credibility problem with the head of the Defence Forces now if he says he wasn't aware?
I'd like to say I can't I didn't exactly hear exactly what he said, so I don't want to comment on that directly. But it is the case that really everyone would have been aware of allegations around harassment and bullying and sexual offences in the Defence Forces, because the Women of Honour, for example, went public, and want to pay tribute to them for the fact that they did so. There was a previous report and allegations, correct allegations, made by Senator Clonan, for example, a long time ago now. And we sought to deal with that, by the way, so it's not the case that nothing was ever done. The reason why we have this report that was published this week is because Minister Coveney, as Minister of Defence, decided that there was a problem and we needed to look into it and do something about it. So I think it would be true to say that anyone who's been following this issue or issues in the Defence Forces over the past 20 years would have been aware that there were allegations and cases of harassment and bullying, including some of a sexual nature, but they haven't been dealt with properly. The response so far has failed, and that's the truth, and we all need to face up to that and change things.